TheSmartLocal.com.
Have you thought of migrating overseas?
Yes, I do.
Maybe to Australia?
Realistically speaking, maybe not.
No, cause my parents stay in Singapore. Then I don't want to move without them.
Hi guys, welcome to Hot Take. Singapore is a very popular destination. We receive so many international tourists every year. Many people have openly said that they'd like to migrate to Singapore for good. But today I'm here to actually check out if Singaporeans would like to stay in Singapore as well, or do they want to migrate to other places? Okay, how old are you?
17.
I'm also 17.
Have you guys ever thought of migrating overseas?
No, cause my parents stay in Singapore. Then I don't want to move without them.
But what if your parents also willing to migrate with you? Which country would be your choice?
Okay, then must see how. But then probably somewhere cold, like Japan, Korea.
Japan, Korea. Have you ever done research on these countries?
I went to Korea before, but
And then you like it a lot there. And you?
I don't think it's a very realistic thing to do because my parents are here also. I think the government here is great and our currency is very strong also.
So which country have you thought of migrating to?
Like UK or like Australia maybe. Australia, their work-life balance is much better in Singapore. Singapore is a lot of work. I feel like Australia is more relaxed and stuff. Also for UK, the buildings are all very nice and stuff. I heard you have to pay 40% in taxes or stuff like that. So that's a bit, I don't want my hard-earned money to go to the government.
How old are you?
I'm 21.
Do you want to migrate overseas?
Definitely.
Which country would be your choice?
I'm thinking of Korea, not gonna lie.
Why Korea?
I don't know, I just love Korean food and that Jeju is a very good island to stay in, unlike Singapore.
Okay, have you thought how you're going to find employment in Jeju?
Just retire there, I think.
Or just retire there?
If not, I'm just gonna find a rich daughter and probably marry and just retire from nursing.
So Singapore is too expensive.
Yeah,
And then got any other reasons?
it's just too hot.
Too hot also.
Yeah.
OK，想问一下你们两位今年几岁？
我们69了，
69了。
68。
想问一下你们有没有想过想要移民去别的国家？
年轻的时候有，现在 retire 了的时候没有想去了。
那年轻的时候你想过要移民去哪一个国家
Australia，
？Australia 为什么？
因为我去 Melbourne quite good，那时候年轻想去了。
然后为什么最后没有实行这个想法？
因为工作太忙，忙到没有时间想。
就一直在新加坡工作赚钱。
就在这边工作，呀。
有现在回想起来有没有觉得可惜？
现在想应该不大会了，因为现在 Singapore very much better， already improve a lot 的，而且government 也是 take care of 这些 senior。现在你看外国乱七八糟啦 ，after COVID-19，after war， 很乱，not peaceful 啦，not so good 啦。
连姐姐你呢，有没有想过想要移民去别的
年
国家？
轻的时候有想过
也是一样Melbourne吗？
对，西方的国家。
为什么？因为嫁鸡随鸡。
不一定，因为我的表姐很多都在外国，好像加拿大啦这些地方都有人。可是现在老了，觉得新加坡的比较好啦，政府也照顾我们。老了时候要去那些医院什么距离比较短啊。如果去了Australia 哪里你要找个医院，然后几个小时才到，你早在路上死掉了。
How old are you?
I'm 25.
36.
The question is, do you guys want to migrate overseas?
Yes, I do. There's a long-term plan ahead.
Which country is your choice right now?
A more laid-back place, maybe like New Zealand, because it's a nice place. I mean, I haven't been there myself, but my partner is looking to it lah. We do see it somewhere in the future.
But a lot of things close at 5 p.m. You okay?
Okay lah. That's so that we have our own time. Yeah, it's not just work and then enjoying, but we have our own personal time.
And then you?
Yes, following my husband because he's always overseas for work. We always have this conversation about migrating. We did say Australia, but then that's about it.
What do you like about Australia?
It's not rush like in Singapore lah, and the weather, because at least they have seasonal periods, not like Singapore always hot lah.
How old are you?
45.
Do you want to migrate overseas?
I've not thought about the question seriously at this point, but I'm open to the idea.
Then which country would be your choice?
Somewhere with a weaker currency than Singapore, because it's about retirement. Yeah, so after I retire, then I'll think about migrating to enjoy the later years of my life, I guess.
Okay.
That's the thinking right now.
Then do you find that it's very hard to retire in Singapore? That's why you hope to migrate overseas when it comes to retirement age?
The reason for migration is more the pace of life. I think it's a little bit fast-paced here, so maybe somewhere where it's more laid back.
What about healthcare? Have you thought of healthcare?
Well, yeah, I mean that's why it's so difficult to decide because Singapore's healthcare is heavily subsidized. It is safe, it is clean. So there are a lot of things that you need to sacrifice if you want to migrate overseas.
How old are you?
I'm 32.
And you?
31.
Have you thought of migrating overseas?
Yes, maybe to Australia. I find the pace is much more slower as compared to Singapore.
But the shops all close at 5 p.m. You okay?
I'm okay. But I believe now also Melbourne is like another Asia hub lah. So some of the shops also close at maybe after 5.
Okay, then how about you?
I used to study overseas in Melbourne. Then I moved back for quite a while already lah. I think about 10 years already. Didn't really want to stay there because all my friends in Singapore. So I moved back, then started my career and everything here lah, after I finished my studies over there.
Would you be able to do like a comparison?
Well, I mean, if you prefer a chill life, then definitely Australia lah. Because Singapore is very fast-paced, and it's quite stressful. So if you like something more chill, more laid back, then Australia lor.
The security is much more better in Singapore.
Okay, how old are you?
We are 19 this year.
Do you want to migrate
I
overseas?
think realistically speaking, maybe not. Mainly because most of my friends and family are here also, and I'm used to the way things are here. But I wouldn't mind staying there for a period of time.
You?
Probably not. I am currently studying overseas, but I'm back for the holidays. I realized that I really love Singapore, so I will definitely come back to live in the future. Yeah. For context, I'm studying in Sydney now, so the public transport there is okay, but it cannot compare to Singapore. And all my friends and family are back here, and safety is also another thing.
Did something happen in Sydney that made you felt like, oh, it's really safe in Singapore?
I mean, it's not a particular incident, but it's things like street lighting. Also having familiar people that I know here and being able to call them. I guess it's another layer of security and safety in that sense. But there's no one incident that happened. Yeah.
But a lot of our interviews, they mentioned that the pace of life in Australia is very much slower in Australia than in Singapore, and then they all want to migrate to Australia. What do you have to say to that?
It is definitely more chill, and I think going there for studies would be good. But I don't know, maybe I'm just used to the quicker pace of life in Singapore.
You don't like it that shops close at 5 p.m.
No, it's
our
so
shopping.
mafan. It's so mafan, yeah.
Yay, we've done all our interviews, and the destination that most Singaporeans want to migrate to is actually Australia. Not that much of a surprise to me because I think we all have, some friends or relatives, who are staying in Australia or studying in Australia. And for those who wanted to continue to stay in Singapore, they said that, Singapore is very safe. So this is the number one reason, and most of their friends and relatives are in Singapore. Thank you for watching this episode of Hot Take. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Please ring the notification bell over here and you may watch our other episodes over here. Thank you so much for watching.